Hey everybody, welcome back to Bookish Daddy. Look, you saw the thumbnail, you know what you're getting into. Today we're doing a wrap up and a TBR with the jar prompts. We'll go ahead and get into it. So for my wrap up, I'll warn you, I did not read much this month. I had a lot going on. Things around the house have been hectic. Just life, man. It has been brutal these past few weeks. And the first book on the list is quite the chunky book. It is the first book in the Bloodsworn trilogy, and it is Shadow of the Gods by John Gwynne. Oh man, was this phenomenal. All of you who have been recommending it, and all of you who are always like posting about it being one of the best series ever. And a couple of you reached out after I read Malice and were like, look, if you didn't like it, start the next one. You were right. This book was phenomenal. And I found my new favorite protagonist. The female in this, Orca, is awesome. This is Norse mythology. Basically, a bunch of Vikings from different POVs. I think in this first book it was 3 total, maybe 4, are living their lives differently around the realm, and all the gods of Norse mythology are dead and gone. There are still people with God's blood in their veins. They're super powerful, fast, strong. Uh, and so you're trying to like find out who's who. And along the way, children start going missing, and people start dying left and right. And people start seeing symbols and runes pointing to like the gods coming back. And all of them were supposed to have died in a huge war. And now these Vikings have some new things to worry about. Uh, and it is just a story of bloody vengeance and following these 3 people who all have their separate, blood oaths that they've taken to get vengeance on separate people. And we're following all of them, trying to see if they're going to get it. The world building in this was freaking awesome. The characters, all 3, it's very rare in a book that I love every single POV. This was one of those books. I mean, the entire time I was never disappointed when it swapped views because they were all so freaking good. The world was awesome. I felt like I was watching Vikings. The fight scenes are epic. As far as, it is adult. There is a lot of gore. There is cursing. There's some closed door stuff going on, but I mean, it's there. So be warned, nothing about this is YA, but John Gwynne did a phenomenal job of telling just Norse history or mythology. And it was so much fun to read this. The next book, oh, I don't know if I said, this is obviously a 5-star read. So I don't know if I said that, but there you go. It's 5 stars. Probably one of my favorite reads of the year. I don't think I'd put it above Assistant to the Villain, but that's just because it's more up my alley. It was still 5 stars. The next book is Guard in the Garden by Z.S. Diamante. Another fantastic read. So this was written by a veteran for veterans. It is a cozy, low stakes, I would almost call it mental health, help book. So this dwarf he's like one of the biggest, strongest dudes on the front lines. Uh, they go into this big war and he ends up getting injured. He also loses a bunch of buddies and has a lot of stuff go wrong. And when he gets back to his little village, he's healing, he's having to use a cane, and he's wondering if he thinks he'll be going back to the front lines. And no one wants to tell him otherwise. So they kind of give him a guard position in a garden. And it is his struggles with PTSD, with anger management, like dealing with the anger of not being around his buddies, knowing impending deployments are coming up for his friends, and really his struggle with not becoming a civilian, but trying to transfer from being a veteran and around all the other soldiers and being the one everyone looks to. And now he's on the sidelines and it's his journey to find out that if he's still useful and what his purpose is. It is beautifully written. It is very emotional. I teared up quite a few times in this, being a veteran myself. I gave this 5 stars. It does have a cute romance in it. It is beautiful. And if you're a veteran, or if you're looking for something that deals with PTSD or mental health or anything along those lines, I highly recommend you pick this up. I loved it, and I'll definitely reread it whenever I need to. Uh, yeah, he did a fantastic job writing this. All right, like I said, it was a very short list. That is all I was able to read because I started the second book by John Gwynne. I think it's Hunger of the Gods, and I'm trying to push through. I mean, it's huge. It is just as good, if not better than the first one already, because he added things I didn't even see coming, and it is just so freaking good. But that's my excuse and why I've only read a couple books. All right, let's get into it. I've got my Lord of the Rings cup full of prompts. Look, half of these prompts are from you on Instagram and YouTube. The other half are my wife and kids, so I have no idea what any of them are going to say, and it could literally be anything. I think I'm going to pick 5 books. So throughout the month, I have kind of my pick of the litter, and I'm going to try and read 3 of them. The first prompt, title with a number in it. Let's have a look-see at what we have. Okay, a book with a number in the title. I kind of cheated on this one, but it is Mr. Wrong Number, which technically has a number in the title. That's going to be my first book. It is by Lynn Painter, I believe. Bad luck has always followed Olivia Marshall, or maybe she's just the screw up her family believes she is. But when a "what are you wearing" text from a random number turns into the hottest, most entertaining, albeit anonymous, relationship of her life, she thinks things might be on the upswing. Look, I'm always down for a good romance. I've heard this one's pretty good, so I'm going to give it a chance. All right, so let's do the second pick. A book with a dragon in it. And that looks like that's going to be my youngest kid's writing, I think. Let's see which book I can find. All right, for the book with a dragon in it, I'm going to go with Firebird by Juliet Cross. This was my Fairy Loot book, and it's supposed to have dragon shifters and take place in Greece. Dude, say less. I mean, it sounds awesome. I love like Greek Hercules type books. I love dragons and dragon shifters. So this one sounds like it'll be freaking awesome. And I think this is our YA Fairy Loot. So I love YA books as well. The next prompt is going to be a book about a man. Okay, that's easy enough. Let's see what we got. A book about a man. I'm going to take this opportunity to pick Empire of Silence, the first book in the Sun Eater series. It is by Christopher Ruocchio. This is a space opera, which I've never read before, and quite frankly, I didn't know what it was until I picked this book up. Everyone I know who has read this has it in their top 3 to 5 books of all time. I have heard nothing but amazing reviews and rants and raving. Even this like first sentence, the galaxy remembers him as a hero, the man who burned every last alien from the sky. They remember him as a monster, the devil who destroyed a sun, casually annihilating 4 billion human lives, even the emperor himself, against imperial orders. But he was not a hero. He was not a monster. He was not even a soldier. I don't know. It sounds awesome. I think it would be a great read if I'm wanting to do some sci-fi this month. So that'll be my third book. The next prompt is going to be my kids pick my book. I could do that. Okay, so my kids have spoken. They ran in here, went through all my books, and they landed on The Rose Bargain, which I could not be more excited for. My wife's going to be reading this soon, so hopefully we can buddy read it. This is, of course, me flexing the Fairy Loot version. So this is, I want to say it's a YA romantasy, where in order to get a suitor, you have to have special abilities. In order to get these abilities, you have to give up really things important to you. Like I think in here it says, give up your pointer finger for a piano skill, or give up your fondest memory for the ability to dance perfectly. Stuff like that. I don't know. Everything I've heard about this is that it's amazing, and I am very excited to read a new romantasy, especially, y'all know I love when there's different powers and stuff like that, magic abilities that you can be granted, and this one sounds very, very unique. So, The Rose Bargain's book 4. The final prompt is a one-word title. Oh, that's brutal when I pull this one. A one-word title is actually perfect because Anathema by Carrie Lake is a book I have also been dying to read, and that'll be my final pick. So I am a huge fan of One Dark Window and Two Twisted Crowns. Once I finished that duology, quite a few people reached out and said that Anathema is even better. If some said the same, some said better, but it is a gothic dark story about a young lady cast out into these woods where there is a soulless monster trying to like kill everyone that's like banished to these woods. Oh, I cannot wait, because One Dark Window and Two Twisted Crowns were two, probably, as far as duologies go, it was my favorite of all time. Gotta be close to being in my top 10 series of, or definitely in my top 10 series, possibly Two Twisted Crowns being in my top 10 of all time. So Anathema, I am super excited to read. So to go back over these, the first book is a gothic fairy tale, Anathema. The next book is The Rose Bargain. It is YA fantasy. The next book is sci-fi, Empire of Silence. And the last two are Mr. Wrong Number and Firebird by Juliet Cross. So we've got romantasy, we've got romance, we've got gothic dark fairy tales, and we've got sci-fi. All of some of my favorite genres. So nothing new, but very exciting because they're all 5 new books to me. And yeah, that's the video. I hope you enjoyed it. If you did, make sure you like this video. Make sure you comment below which of these 5 you're most excited for me to read. And thank you all so much for watching. Have a great week.